I'm going to explain on what polymorphism in OOPS concept. Whatever concept or whatever is there in the OOPS, so this all it has its own advantage to use in coding. So again, polymorphism also the main advantage is that the reusability of the code. So now what polymorphism is, so this polymorphism is the combination of two words. One is poly and one more is a morphism. So it means that poly is, you can say, multiple or a many. So morphism is a forms, so it is a many forms it means. So in when we're writing a code, you can write a same method name, but in a but you can use it in the different way, means with a different behavior or a different functionality you can make use of it. So here you can see it. Here I'm just zooming out. Morphism means one thing behaving in the many forms. So I'm creating a one method called area, but when you are writing it, when you are using that method name, the same name which is area, for circle, the area of the circle, whatever functionality is there, it's different. And rectangle area functionality is different, and triangle area functionality is different. So that is it means. So I'm calling just the area method, but when I get the result of this area method, what it returns, so it's a different one for circle, one I get it for rectangle, one it for the rectangle. So it means that it's the same name, the method name is same, but it is behaving different way. So I already said that is the reusability. So if polymorphism is not there, this concept itself is not there. It's like when I'm finding the area of the circle, I'll create the area of the circle method, then I'll give implementation. For rectangle, I'll create a rectangle area of the rectangle method, I'll create it. It's just a I'm just creating a different names with for the same functionality, right? It's a area only, you are finding the area only. It's just a confusing also. And also it's just you are writing a unwanted code here. So that's the reason I can create a single method and you can use it for a different functionality. That is what it means, the polymorphism. And next comes is that there are two types of polymorphism. One is method overloading and one more is the method overriding. Okay. What method overloading is that? Again, one more name we call it as the compile time polymorphism, we call it. I'll just explain it why we call it compile time. So which method, I already said that in polymorphism method name will be same. You can see here the method name is add only. In this calculator class, you can see public int add. First method I'm passing only two numbers, and in second method we're passing a three parameters. So here the method name is same, which is add, but parameters I'm passing it differently. In first method I'm passing only two, in second one I'm passing the three parameters. Okay. That is how we are differentiating. And at compile time only it decides, because the method name is same, at compile time it decides which method to call. For example, if you're while calling the method, below you can see in the main method c dot add, if I'm passing the two parameters, it will call the first method because it's having two parameters. If I'm passing the three numbers in three parameters, it will call the second method, because so it will decide at the compile time. Before that, if you're very beginners in the coding, I'll explain it what its compile time means, what compiler is that. So whatever we return a code which is there in our language, right, in English, whatever language, but when you're writing it while compiling, machine should understand, right, this language. So what this compiler will do is it will convert our language code into the machine level language. So that is what it works. And while converting, what it does also, if I have written anything wrong, maybe the bracket, if I'm missing up anything, uh, uh, anything wrong I have written, so it will compile and it will show the errors. At the compile time only it will show that. That's a work of a compiler. So while doing that work only, and this will decide which method to call. That's why we call it as a compile time polymorphism. It's just simple example, no, based on the parameter numbers it will decide which method to call. And if I talk about the return type here, in both the methods you can see int only. Even if it's a different return type, there is no difference in method overloading. Method overloading, it decides only based on the parameters should, method name should be same and parameters should be different. Even instead of int a b c, I can write one more method here, add float a, float b, float c also. I can use a different data type also. It's not that I should use only the same data type. Here I'm using int, right? In both the places you can use different data type also, a string, float, double, whatever you can use it, but method name should be same here. That's a concept here. Okay. mm, okay. I hope you understood this, what compile time polymer, so we call it for method overloading. And second one is the method overriding. So method overriding is like something like something concept comes here about the inheritance also. You can see an example here. This is again we call it a runtime polymorphism. Here it decides in the runtime in the sense when we create an object, right, that time we decides it. In clearly I'll explain it in later here. So I created a class called animal. I created one method here called sound. Okay. And subclass I'm creating it the dog, and it is extending the animal, extending in the sense it is inheriting the animal class. Again here I am using the same method here. In the dog class I don't need to create one more dog sound, something like that with that name. I don't need to create it, I'm just overriding that. One more you need to observe here, when I'm creating in the base class animal class, I'm used the keyword called virtual. And when I'm overriding that in the subclass dog class, that is override, this should be there. It means that I'm overriding the base class sound method, and in subclass I'm giving my own implementation. You can see the difference in the implementation. In the first method, in the animal class, that is animal makes sound, but in the dog class it can see the dog barks. So I'm overriding the animal class method implementation, whatever is there I'm hiding it, and I'm giving my own in the dog, which is dog barks, but I'm using the same method name. Means I'm using the same method, but I'm giving my own definition here. For again they created the class cat, again cat, dog, no, so whatever the implementation is different. So when I'm creating in main method, you can see here animal a1 equal to new dog. So that's why we call it as a runtime. So in the overloading, what happens, when I pass the c dot add equal to, when I pass the two parameters at the compile time only, the compiler understands that okay, two parameters are there, I should call the method where two parameters are there. That's it. So it compile time only it gets to know that which method to call. But in overriding it will not happen like that. It has to wait. While compiling it will just read like animal a1, that's it just it say that okay, animal animal class reference is there. But when it decides is that when you create an object, when new or dog object will create, that time it will decide. When object creation means it is runtime only, at runtime only object creates. So at runtime it decides which class method has to called, because you can see here animal a1, the parent class reference only there, but it is assigning the dog object new dog. At below you can see new cat. So runtime it will decide which method to call. That's why we call it as a runtime polymorphism. uh, yeah, I hope you understood at least little bit what polymorphism is, their method overloading and overriding. Any query or doubts, please comment below. And if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.